Morning once again. Now, it affects around 30,000 people in the UK, but autism can still be a taboo subject when it comes to television coverage.
That's right. A BBC One drama, which started a couple of weeks ago, is going to change some of that. The A Word is all about a young couple learning to live with their son's condition.
Yeah, we'll talk to the...
It's been such a lovely watch so far, and you play a dad, a wonderful character who kind of can't help but interfere all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think they're both the mother and the father are sort of they don't quite know how to deal with it, and so with this clip they've got somebody who's come to help them essentially look through the eyes of an autistic child and help them go through it, but they can't help but go, look, everything's fine, look what a loving family we are. And she sees straight through that and realises that it's not quite as black and white as that.
And that's meant to reflect the honesty of the situation, isn't it? And the fact that people deal with autism in very different ways. And when it's your own child, it's hard to find the right way to deal with it. I suppose that's what the drama is all about. It's asking those questions when you're watching and when you're being part of it as well.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what Peter, our writer, has written is that there's so many members of the family and they all go about it so differently. The mother is very, very protective. She doesn't want anybody to know, doesn't want to label him, and Paul is very much like, well, why not? We have to get it out there and show that. But with that, finds it very easy to escape to work and bury his head in the sand and think it'll all be fine.
When you look at the subject matter, a programme like this could have been quite a tough watch, but actually it's not, is it? It's delightfully funny.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that surprises people is how funny it is, because the situations that arise sometimes are, you can't help but laugh at them as well. I mean, we did a scene which was he's trying desperately to get his son to play football at a party that he was never invited to in the first place, and he goes running off, climbs up a tree, and ends up slapping his dad really hard, and it sort of crashes you back down to earth.
Heartbreaking. I know exactly the scene. It was absolutely heartbreaking because you can see everybody's almost on tenterhooks around you, aren't they?
It was funny, that scene, because we hadn't told them what we were going to do, what we were filming, so they put a camera on the kids, and so they just thought they were watching just this funny thing of this dad trying to get his son down from a tree and then hits his dad. And they cut to this kid, and he's just so flummoxed by what's happening and what's going on, and they captured that brilliantly. It's heartbreaking. You
mentioned the creator, the name Peter. Now, people might know the name Peter Boker because he was the man behind Marvellous, which was an outstanding bit of award-winning television, which told the story about Stoke City. And what he was really keen to get across in this drama was the fact that some people have a perception of autism as being like Rain Man, and he didn't want it to be like that at all.
Yeah, it was with this one. He wanted that thing where seemingly everything seems fine. He's just a 5-year-old kid who's growing up, and is he so different from any other kid? And it's on the spectrum where it's not quite as severe, and so he wanted to address that. A family who's seemingly doing fine, loving family, and then once things start unfolding, there's more to it.
One of the remarkable things about the programme actually is the character Joe, your son in the programme. The actor who plays him is phenomenal.
And not autistic.
Yeah.
No, he's not autistic. He's 6, and he just grabbed hold of the character Joe straight away. They talked to him and we discussed what was going on, and he understood it as much as he could initially, and then over time he knew what was involved and how to get into Joe and into the mindset of Joe, and he does it brilliantly. And we work around him really.
He gets that ever so slightly detached thing really well, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes he put the headphones on and we just play music, real music that he was meant to be listening to, and just film him. And eventually he gets bored because we're having to do it 3 or 4 times. And it's those moments where he's off in his own world are the moments where it tends to come through and work. Brilliant.
It's great to see you feel so passionately about it, but you're involved in lots of other things as well. We're going to see you on our screens in a new... it's on Sky called... what's it, The Five?
The Five.
Explain a little bit about The Five. What's that all about? Because it's a bit murkier, isn't it?
It is. It's a bit different. It's kind of a psychological thriller. It's from the mind of Harlan Coben, the American novelist, who he writes some real gripping page-turners with twists and sidesteps, and so it's his original drama for Sky, his first time writing for TV, and he's written...
So briefly, what's the audience response been to the A Word, and how do you think that's going to continue?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I think what... It's when people say, this is a situation that's very familiar to me because we've been there with the diagnosis and being excluded from parties and just, how how families learn to deal with it and move forward with it. I think it's.
Lee, it is lovely to talk to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, the A Word continues tonight, BBC One at 9 o'clock. That's all from us. See you tomorrow.